So who have you come here to be this year? That's the question that we're seeking greater clarity around for our own lives this morning. Many of you probably participated in the New Year's Eve burning bowl and focused on what you wanted to let go of, and also in that process created a vision for what you'd love to have as part of your experience in 2024. We call it a letter to God, but I imagine that for a lot of people, that it was filled with things that you wanted to have and do, perhaps a vacation or a new car or learning something new, maybe a new job or promotion or expanded creative endeavors like writing that book you've always said you were going to write, or learning some kind of new art, meaningful time with family and friends, and a healthier body. That was definitely on my list. Maybe a new relationship or a healed relationship. And perhaps it also included deepening your own spiritual practices. Visioning is really a powerful tool. It's one that can help hone and focus what we want to convey to the universe, to call forth into our lives, as long as we approach it from and understand that having does not equal being. Let me explain that. Our human experience informs us that when we have all that we desire, our relationships, our jobs, financial support, our health, then we can do all that is ours to do, and then we'll be happy, we'll be fulfilled, we'll be worthy, we'll be loved, whatever it is that we're seeking. The human experience tells us that the order of things unfolding is to have, then we can do, and then we will be. It's reinforced from the time we're young children through advertising, through social media, where we see that, if we just had that perfect car, then the girls or the guys, they would really be attracted to us, and we would feel that sense of worth or that sense of being loved. Even as a little kid, and they're really good with kids at doing this, if you can just get this one toy, boy, you are gonna, just be able to have fun all day long and be so happy. Even our well-meaning parents told us when we were growing up, you got to get that good skill, get a college education in order to get a good job so that you can, do the things that you need to do in the world and then make the big money so you can be successful. You can be a worthwhile citizen of our country. And in some ways, it seems to work that way. If we've ever gotten that new car we've always wanted, boy, it can feel pretty darn good. We see our kids. How many of them got some new toys for Christmas? It was really exciting. How many of those new toys are still exciting today? The challenge with it is that state of being seems to be quite temporary and transient when that's the way that we've reached that state of being. And what I've learned over and over again is that the things, the accomplishments, other people cannot fulfill for any sustained period of time our inner state of being, or help us develop what it is that we are seeking to be. It is an inside job. So in truth, life operates just the opposite. It is be, then do, then we have. When we can intentionally move ourselves into that desired state of being, whatever that state of being is, if we want to be in that sense of love or worthiness or connected or abundant, it begins with developing, cultivating, creating that inner sense of being first. It then supports us to do the things that we need to do in order then to have the things that support us in expressing that out into the world. The rest of the stuff seems to fall into place when we radiate that inner sense of beingness from our very core. Jesus described it this way. He said, "Seek first the kingdom of heaven, and then everything else will be added." Seek first that kingdom of heaven that is within. He wasn't saying when you get to that place after you die, saying that place that's within you, find it there first, and everything else will fall into place. You will be provided for. What you need will show up when you need it. This white stone ceremony that we're doing today, where you claim what you want to be this year. This is not about what you want to have or what you want to do. This is about who you want to be, is vitally important if you want to really have a greater opportunity to experience the vision that you set for this year, the doing and the having. And it's a process that you can really only arrive at through spirit or through soul. This is not a mind journey. This is not what does the mind want. This is about what does the soul, what does my experience of life want to be. Each of you should have gotten one of these white stones when you came in. If you didn't get one, you could raise your hand. Jim's going to come and bring you one and bring you a marker. And if you have one already, just pick it up and hold it in your hand. I just want you to begin to connect with this process. For those of you who are watching us through the live stream today, maybe just have a piece of paper and something to write with so you can jot it down. And then you can we'll have some available this week or next Sunday. If you're local, you can pick one up when you have an opportunity to get here, or you can find your own stone out there in nature and use that as your representation of a white stone. This white stone and this process of having a white stone as part of this ritual that we go through every year is very ancient. In the time where Jesus walked the earth and before and after, it most often represented when someone had served their time or had been released from slavery or bondage of any kind, they were given a white stone. And when they were released, that they were to carry with them, because it signified their freedom. It signified that they had a fresh start, that they were now released from whatever had been a part of their past. And so this white stone is the promise of new life. It is the symbol of a clean slate, as was the custom in the times when the Bible was written. When one was set free from prison or from whatever bondage they had been held in, they were given a new lease on life. They had completed their obligation, and they were ready to start something new. Whatever has gone on in the past, we let it go. This is a sign of our ability in this moment to live and to welcome a new beginning. This is the moment in which we know we are free, free from all that has bound us, free from the prison that in this case we often have created for ourselves. To those, okay, let me make sure I'm in the right place. Yes. To those who move forward with faith, a new name is given. You know, we often found that when some new essence of life had come forth within the people, a new name was given to them. And so now we are opening ourselves to what is the new name of being that is being given to us, that is being called forth from our soul and from our spirit. The White Stone ceremony is inspired by Revelation 2:17, a passage which says, "Let the person who is able to hear, to listen, and to follow what the Spirit proclaims to all the churches. To the one who conquers through faithfulness, even through death, I will feed you hidden manna and give you a white stone." People understood that I will give you freedom. And upon this stone, a new name is engraved. And no one knows this name except for the recipient. So this is our opportunity today to listen and to receive in faith our call to new being, to the new name that God is calling us to be. In a few moments, we're going to take some time to go into the quietness of our own beings and listen closely for what that word is for us. It calls us to be open to whatever Spirit lays upon our heart. Sometimes we think we know, sometimes we've already even decided, and yet something new shows up. It may be something that we don't even understand why we're being given that word. Sometimes it's very clear. I remember the year after my stepson died of a heroin overdose, and a month later, his son, our only grandson, not our only, our grandson, was born heroin addicted, something that he will unfortunately have to deal with all his life. In addition, the person who agreed to be our construction manager at the church I was serving on this $750,000 renovation expansion project that we had agreed to decided he could no longer do that and stepped away, so I had no one in place to help with that project. And I had a board member for the first and really the only time in my ministry who sought to have power over me rather than power with me. The word I got was forgiveness. It was very clear to me because life had gotten really, really heavy that I was being called to be forgiveness that year. The following year, having lived in the beingness of forgiveness and sometimes the heaviness of forgiveness, my word showed up as authentic joy. My soul, my spirit really wanted to find the joy in life. The year that fearless showed up for me, and be careful what word shows up, or be prepared, I should say. I sang in front of a group for the first and only time, and trust me, you'll be glad that it wasn't in this community. I walked on fire. I followed the guidance of Spirit to leave the ministry I was serving, even though I had no clue what would be coming next. Sometimes two words have shown up. These are some of my little stones up here. I have probably 15 or more now that I collect each year. And just write one on each side if you get a couple of different words. Some of these just have one, some have two. So see what shows up and just be willing to be with it. So, with your stone in your hand, we're going to move into a time of meditation. Feel the smoothness of the stone. Know that these stones come from a very sacred place in the region of Jerusalem. Begin to turn your attention within. You might want to close your eyes, or perhaps you just want to fix your gaze on the stone that's being held in your hand. And take a deep, relaxing breath. See if you can't hear the whispering of that Christ presence alive in you, reminding you Behold, I make all things new. It doesn't matter what has happened in the past. Today is an invitation to step into being something new. I invite you to trust in this moment and what it brings to you. In this sacred place, in this moment of truth, the insight into your divine purpose, an awareness of your own holy essence. And in this secret place of the Most High within you that you bring yourself to rest in, invite you to allow my words to become yours, become the words of your heart. God, in this moment, I let go. I let go of everything I believe should or could be, and trust in your guidance to show me where I'm being called to be. I now free myself to live more fully. I release the limitations of the past, those old beliefs that I thought were the law. And I surrender now to your law of love and grace. I imagine myself now leaving the prison of limitation, perhaps of my own creation, leaving behind the shackles of negative thinking. And the door before me opens and I walk through to freedom. Freedom. I'm handed a white stone, one to remind me that I am free to step into the unlimited possibilities of life. That I am free to allow my truest and highest, most glorious self to emerge. I reflect and I meditate on a new name, a new word that I am going to be this year. And so I listen. I listen knowing that the perfect word is already written on my heart, trusting and knowing that in perfect time it will come. I listen now in the silence. Feel a sense of gratitude and aliveness flowing through you, flowing through this room. Knowing that we are in that constant evolutionary process, that we have access to divine inspiration of becoming, of birthing new ways of making a difference, new ways of calling forth heaven on earth. For there is no limit to God's love in you, as you and through you, to God's strength in you, as you and through you. And as you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes, and if you haven't already, write your word upon your stone. And even if you don't have a word right now, just be patient. Don't worry, it will come. You will hear it in the perfect moment in the right time and can add it then. And I just pray that any time that you look at your white stone, that you realize you have the freedom to choose, the freedom to live differently, to live a more fulfilling life, to begin again, and to connect with that essence of God in which you become a conscious co-creator. I leave you with these words to resonate as you step into this new year, that our greatest power is our power to be more loving, to be more courageous, that's creative and courageous put together, both of those things, to be more joyous, and to be the name that Spirit has written on your white stone. Namaste. Well, it is our opportunity now to share of our financial good with this ministry. In a few moments, the ushers are going to invite you to come up row by row, and you can place your gift that you're offering today in one of the large baskets, and then receive an affirmation to bless you this day. We always want to be in that flow of both giving and receiving. And even if this isn't your Sunday to share, or you give electronically, you can use one of the little cards, or just come and place your hand over the basket, bless it, and then receive your affirmation. For the many ways that we receive our financial good that allows us to do what is ours to do, we are so grateful. We bless all of the channels, those that we know and those that show up in unknown ways. So join with me as we take what we offer today into our hands and into our hearts and bless it. Together, divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Father, Mother, God.
All right, why don't we all stand up? We'll join hands and let's do our peace song together.
And so as we go into this day, into this week, open to the possibilities of our new way of being, bring to our lives, bring to the world, we go knowing our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Stay warm, everyone.